this place on Lambie Street, Isabella, San Fernando, where we are about to meet a veteran singer, songwriter, composer, entertainer. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. I'm Simply Heather and you are watching Talking to the Stars. Today we have with us a veteran entertainer who performed all over the world. He is a Grammy Award winner songwriter for his smash hit, Who Let the Dogs Out. I'm talking about none other than Anselm Douglas.
Yes! The party was late, the party was pumping. Hey, and yippee-yi-yo, and everybody having a ball. Yeah, man, yippee-yi-yo, until the man start the name calling. Oh, yeah, yippee-yi-yo, then a girl respond to the call. I hear a woman shout out, who let the dogs out?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on Talking to the Stars.
Anselm, take us through your musical journey. How and when you started in the arts?
Well, thing is, I don't know if you have time for that because I've been on stage now for a long time. The first time I remember being on stage, I was just about going on 5, and I had to sing at my kindergarten graduation. I actually ran off of the stage with stage fright. But after that, my mom, she was a kindergarten school teacher herself, and she would put on shows in the community center, Laramine Community Center, my Laramine Boys South Boy. And, we had to act. It was to raise funds for the school, so we would put on plays and sing and drum and all that kind of stuff. So I've been there, I've been on stage since then. And then I started attending the Laramine Pentecostal Church. I'm a church boy too. Yeah. Well, all good things come from heaven, right? So I started singing in church, in the choir, doing solos in the church. Then we had a little band called Exodus. And from there moved on to a local band called Crossover in Laramine, then Fireflight, Atlantic, Horizon. It's just been that, but it's been a nice ride.
Why are you sometimes referred to as a Trinidadian Canadian singer-songwriter?
Well, let me answer the last part first. I am a singer, songwriter, recording artist, entertainer, all that. About 23 years ago, I migrated to Toronto, Canada. And so I have dual citizenship, so I am Trini and Canadian. So I'm Trini can do anything. I don't know.
What is the secret for writing smash hits like When You Whine, Who Let the Dogs Out, Come Dance With Me,
You know what? If I were to sit here and tell you that there is a formula for hits, I would be pretentious and I'd be lying. If we all knew a formula for hits, then every song you write would be a hit. And as a songwriter, in your heart, you believe that every song that you write is a big song. You would talk to people like my good friend Colin Lucas, who wrote Dollar Wine. And when you talk with him, that was, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, but he shared this information with me, that was a filler song on the Taxi album that year and became the biggest song on the record, right? I remember going to Carl Beaver Henderson with, 5 or 6 songs, and I say, these are the songs I want to do this year. And one of the songs was Who Let the Dogs Out. And another song in that pile of songs was a song called Stick Fight or When I'm Dead, Bury My Clothes. But the year before, you were seasonal, So the year before, I had a really terrible season. And he said, you know what, Anselm, you're coming off of a bad season. Who Let the Dogs Out could be a massive hit, or it could be a massive bust. Let's go with something that has more nostalgic properties. So we went with When I'm Dead, Bury My Clothes. And I think he was right in making that decision as my producer at the time. 20 years later, literally 20 years later, it's still a song that's playing and, as they say, mashing up fat. So there is no, to answer your question, I know that was a long roundabout answer, but to answer your question, there's no real formula. If it was so, then every song Michael Jackson wrote would have been a hit. Every song I wrote would have been a hit. Every song any singer-songwriter wrote would have been a massive hit, but it doesn't work that way.
You have been nominated for several international music awards. Let's talk about that.
You say several like it's a whole bunch, it's not so much. Well, let's talk about Who Let the Dogs Out. Who Let the Dogs Out, I am, by the Grammy Award Committee, I am recognized as the Grammy Award winning songwriter for the song Who Let the Dogs Out. That happened in 2001. I was in Trinidad at the time actually, because Grammys happened right around the time for Carnival. So I was here, and Martin, a good friend of mine, Martin Mice, I don't know what you call him Mice anymore, but Martin called me and he said, I was on the highway, and he said, "Yo, you just win the Grammy." He said, "Come on." He said, "I'm serious, you just win the Grammy." I was on the highway, so I am usually a flatline kind of person. You don't get, somebody getting married, okay, somebody died, okay, I'm kind of here. Yeah, I don't really, but I had to pull aside on the highway and kind of take it in and come to terms with what he was just telling me. And, because every singer, every songwriter I know, they always talk about winning a Grammy, or their music going on to win a Grammy. It's almost like the ultimate, it's like winning the 100 meters in the Olympics, and so when it happened, I was like, I couldn't wrap my head around it, to be honest, and usually I am very, I can hold it down, So I left and I got into Gonzales, where I was staying at the time, Gosela Road in Gonzales, and when I got there, all the camera people were there, and the media was there, and it was like a frenzy going on outside the house. I was like, this is real, because it was good. It was really good. The Black Canadian Award, doing Caribbean style music, is about your body of work, and in that category, they look at current, because if I was going up against Bob Marley, I lost. If I was going up against Sparrow, I lost. But at that point in time, I was presented with Black Canadian Award, doing Caribbean style music, and it's a Canadian award, and I think I was making a major impact on the Caribbean scene in Toronto, so I was awarded with that, and quite recently I was given the Soca Lifetime Achievement Award, so hey, what can I say? Bada bing, bada boom.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. Today we have with us Grammy Award winner, songwriter Anselm Douglas.
I know it wasn't you. Please tell me it's not you. I know it wasn't you. Liberal earrings that I got you. Oh, she had one just the same. Now I know these.
What's happening with Anselm these days? Where can we find you?
Well, I've started something called the Calypso series, because I am a staunch believer in the fact that Calypso is the root of all Caribbean music, and for some strange reason, we here in Trinidad don't seem to show the love and appreciation for it. This is our music. This is our, you gotta understand this is our music. I was listening to a preacher the other day, and he said something that made me rock back on the sofa. He said the only thing that is on the planet that was not created on the planet is music. Music came from heaven. And I strongly believe that. And if we as a nation created a music called Calypso, and out of this Calypso we have soca, rapso, gospelypso, chutney soca, parang soca, and the list goes on and on and on. Even reggae came out of Calypso. Everybody wouldn't put up their hand and say, yes, I know that, but reggae came out of Calypso, you know, and so many other musics out of the Caribbean that was spawned as a result of Calypso. That's ours, you know, and, you know, I know this is a long answer to your question. I remember traveling on a flight one time, and this gentleman asked me, so what do you do? I said, well, I'm an artist, I'm a singer. He said, what kind of music you sing? I said, well, I sing soca. He said, soca, never heard of it. I said, Calypso. He said, oh, I know that. You know, the point I'm trying to make is, why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? Nothing is wrong with soca. Nothing is wrong with soca. But if the world already knows a music, already aware of a music called Calypso, why are we trying to push that in the corner and say, well, this is the music now? You know, Jamaica has reggae, they have dancehall, they have lovers rock, but all comes under the umbrella of reggae. So if we have soca and ring bang and rapso, why can't it just come under the umbrella of Calypso, the music that the world is already familiar with? So for me, I am doing the Calypso series where every Sunday evening we try to feature one Calypso artist in an up-close and personal environment where, you know, it's like a mini concert where you could reach out and touch the artist and talk with the artist and take pictures after the show. It's just up close and personal, and as we try to reintroduce, revamp this beautiful music. Because everything else is just a branch on the tree. And the name of the tree is Calypso. Everything is just a branch. You know, so I don't understand if you try to kill the tree, how the branch going to survive. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been up to, just doing my Calypso thing, still in the studio recording, still performing, and still ready to rock it.
You've traveled all over the world performing. Where would you say was your most memorable performances?
Trinidad. I mean, honestly, I've been to Palestine, I've been to Israel, I've been to Sweden, I've been to London, I've been to all over the US, or Canada, Zimbabwe. I performed, but there's something about standing up in front of a Trinidad and Tobago crowd. And you asked about my most memorable performance. It has to go back to Brass Festival in PSA. Those days we used to have, it was like, you know, Marshall had a song, Band Meet Band. It was about band, it was about horns, it was about brass, it was about energy, it was about, I can't explain it, but to see 35,000 people, you know, just moving, jumping, waving, big flag, small flag, all kind of flag, dust in the air, policeman whine, everybody up in that time. You know, I think if I could get back to that moment or that time in I know things move on, you know, but if I could get back to that time in our music when it was about music, you know, when it had bands from Barbados and Guyana and Jamaica and Trinidad and Barbados and everybody here for Brass Festival and everybody jamming, you know, and people in front of the stage. And those days the audience wasn't untouchable. You weren't so separated from the audience. You could have leave. Well, you know, people came, there were fetters. People came to fet. You know, people say you're going to the fet now, but when you go to the fet, everybody only powdering and dulsing up and selfie and doing the duck mouth and the pout mouth. And so I don't know if we still understand the term fet when women used to walk out the fet with a shoe in their hand. You know, that was an era, that was a time that I don't know if it'll ever come back. But we were a nation of fetters, you know, and I would like to see it come back. But that era, that time was my most memorable time.
If you were not doing music, what would have been your next career of choice?
If I wasn't into music, I don't know if you know this, but I had a career in the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. I love the sea. I love sailing. And one day I always say, before God takes me off this beautiful green earth, I have to own a beautiful yacht. You know, but I love the water. I love being a sailor. So probably would have been a sailor. Stay being a sailor. Yeah.
What advice would you give a struggling upcoming artist?
Well, you're in a business of struggle. I mean, you're in a business where you know everybody Everybody think, I was telling a gentleman this evening, because I heard a song on the radio and I was like, excuse me, what the hell is that? You know, I mean, no, I was like, really? Because I don't wake up in the morning and try to cut nobody here. I'm not a barber. I don't wake up and try and go and pull out nobody's teeth. I ain't no dentist. I live, breathe, eat this, and I've been doing it for, as I told you, since I was this high. You know, so I am new to this. I am true to this. But people wake up in the morning saying, well, I'm going to do a tune. I want to eat a food. And take my career that I've invested time. And I was in choirs. I've done cantatas. You know, I was on scouting for talent. I came through the ranks. I toiled to be the best that I can be at what I do. So it's humiliating when somebody just decides to take my career and decide, I want to eat a food, so I go and sing a tune. And the funny thing is, these fellas, it has worked for them.
Yeah, it has worked.
I don't know, it's worked for them. You know, but for the young upcoming artists, if you know you're true to this, if you know this is your calling, if you know you were placed on this planet, you were placed on this planet to do this, then do it every day, every minute, every moment. Live it, breathe it, eat it, sleep it, think it. You know, this is, you have to be passionate about this. Because you can't just do this because you want to eat a food and then, you know, okay, you eat a food. Really? It's not fast food. This is thing you have to prepare and put in the oven and time it. And when you hear ping, you take your little fork and you choke and see if it's ready. And this is a meal you have to prepare for. This is not how we think. And everybody doing this lablash thing and feel that is music. That is not music. And if it was in the days of the Grandmaster, God rest his soul, he run you. At the Koto, he run you. Pelham Goddard, he's still alive. He will run you until you can't go in tongue with that. Because these producers and songwriters, they didn't settle for dago work. Either do it right or don't do it at all. So as a young artist coming up, be true to what you're doing. There are times when you're suffering, when you're catching your tail, when you have to eat bread and not even bread and butter. Bread and jam it. You know, bread and jam, the two of them together, bread and jam. That's all you have. And you eat that, drink water. You're living. Nobody know your business. But you're working at something. You will have hard times. But if you know that you were put on this planet to do this, God wouldn't bring you this far and then lay you drop. He'll take you through it. Whatever he brought you to, he will take you through. When it comes to airplay and Calypso music, local music, I have a bit of a problem with it because I think in a country where we have so much music to offer, it shouldn't have a Calypso show on my radio or a soca show on my radio. I could understand a reggae show on my radio, if you understand the difference. We have 24 hours, and if during that 24 hours you have a 2-hour reggae show or a 2-hour hip-hop show, I can understand that. That's just a show, that's just a slip-in. But generally speaking, we have too much music to have a Calypso show and the rest is somebody else's music. I don't know if I'm making sense there, you know. But again, going back to the young artists, I don't want you to ever feel despondent or feel despair because your music not playing on the radio. Because I'll tell you something. And this may sound mean, but the reality is the job of the radio station is not really to promote my music. That's not the job of the radio station. The job of the radio is to make money. And these fellas don't feel these fellas on you and so much on culture. And you are a culture person. But that don't mean he, the owner of the radio station, on culture. His job is not to promote your music. We have to find new and creative ways, especially now with social media, the internet. We have to find new and creative ways to get our music out there, to build a fan base that will follow us to hell and back. You know, because you could build songs without the radio. And then you know what has happened? The radios end up having, they don't have a choice but to play. But we drop our music by the radio and say, they're playing my tune. Their job is not to play a tune. Their job is to make money. And we have this misconception that they play ads between music. No, the radio play music between ads. Ads is what bringing them money, and then they play music, they have to pay COT, they have to pay BMI, they have to pay SOCA and ASCAP. Some one of the collecting agencies or societies out there, they have to pay money too, depending on who you're signed with as an artist, as a songwriter. So their job is not really to play. It would be nice and patriotic if they say, you know what, we have an obligation to push our artists and make them the best that they can be. It would be nice, but there's no always work out the way you want it. You know, my mom and the old people have a saying, drip, drip does fill the bucket. You know, too many times you open the pipe and you want to gush. Be patient. Be patient. Tip. Tip. You know, if you plug your sink, if you in error, leave the plug in your sink, your kitchen sink in the night, but your tap has a little drip. You know you're waking up to a flood in the morning? You know you're waking up to a flood in the morning. That pick in the morning. Oh, go out the kitchen flood. From that drip. So my thing is just to keep patient, keep doing what I'm doing, and do it to the best of my ability.
In a zone, don't worry about no time, we have no kids at home. We go party till morning come and wind down to the ground. So come on baby, and really we have some fun cause I come. Hold your woman from behind, round she waist and start to whine. I'm feeling your body, cause tonight's gonna be highway. Hold your woman from behind.
It's time for our quiz segment, Your Zen in 10. Anselm, this is our quiz segment where we ask you 10 quick questions so your fans can get to know you a little better, okay? So are you ready?
Okay.
What is the one thing that people will be surprised to know about Anselm Douglas?
That I'm not big on food.
Other love besides music?
I love family.
Favorite color?
I like blue, I like white, I like green. I like plenty colors, I like colors.
Favorite food?
I got drink soup every day.
Favorite Calypso?
Progress.
A place you call your Zen?
The bedroom.
Best advice given?
This too shall pass. Stick with it.
What brings you the greatest joy?
Honestly, standing on stage, performing and seeing people have fun. Because that brings, I swear, that brings the most fun to me, just seeing people having fun as I perform and they totally enjoy themselves. That's it.
Person that influences you the most?
I think it was my mom.
What is the one thing that you cannot live without?
Air.
Well, Anselm, thank you so much for allowing us to hang out with you and all the best in your future endeavor.
Thank you for having me.
Again and again and again, and we just make it go boom 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 boom.